or printing my email modeling software for a customer. It's going to be called Splitsmart for sharing expenses between individuals and groups of people. When designing the software, I thought about the building blocks needed at the start so that we are able to build this software, and I decided to I decided to prioritize accounts management and reporting as the main functionalities of the system, as I felt those were most necessary in the software that provided solutions to sharing expenses between individuals and main groups. From there, I wanted to start off with accounts to use as my first use case scenario, where a user would be able to create an account so that he can log in. From there, there's some sort of login handling error input, which is allows you to know if your account exists in our database. If it doesn't, it will take you and handle an error to a page that shows you that accounts does not exist. Or if you enter your information incorrectly, it will take you to a password incorrect page where you would go on to be able to change your password using your email. Now, after we've gotten to this phase of security validation, we've gone to access your data that we allocate from our data resource and database. There you can access your balance information, your expense information within the software, or you can go on to delete and log out of your account, or you can cancel that function for that matter. Of course, from there, you want to share expenses with a different type of group, and being that the software is based on sharing expenses between groups of people and expenses between individuals, we have to have a group management phase or a group management section that we focus on building the blocks of the software. We have our group management, which is allows the user after they've created an account to create a group where they can add members and remove members from their friends, from roommates, family members, co-workers, whatever that case may be, so that they can view their group expenses and view their group balances. Of course, here we have the option to delete a group if you've further used that functionality and you've already gotten all the uses out of it that you need. You can go on and delete your group or cancel that function. Of course, this will help you manage your resources very well, and by doing so, we also added a report phase. This is important because at the end of the month, you want to know what's spent, you want to know your checks and balances, and what do and what not to do for the next month. Of course, we'd be able to manage our reports throughout the reporting use case window. We have manage reports so that we are able to generate a report, customize our report settings as there are many different types of formats of reports, such as PDFs, documents, and all those types of sorts, changing the size. And you're able to delete a report. We'll go into those when we go into our class diagram, which we are going to be getting into in a second here. From there, you can obviously go on to use your sharing so that you can share or export your report. From there, of course, these are going to go hand in hand with our class diagrams. The use case scenarios are used to be able to identify exactly what is needed inside the use case scenario. So from there, we can go and create our class diagram, which is the accounts page, where you can create your account. Under there is located the balance, the expenses, the email, username, the passwords, where you can add alerts, add balances, add expenses, add users, add group, add members, add accounts, add reports, or error handling over here, which we have hand in hand with account not existing and timing out. Error handling would occur if the data does not match our database. Of course, when accessing your account, we would have to go through a data security phase to check that when you are checking your check balances, your expenses, your reports, your group expenses, your group reports, your group balances, all within our data. We want to, of course, make sure we're delivering you our top product which is why we make it go through a phase where we verify the security of it. Of course, the users can do all of that, can't do all of that without the billing numbers provided to them after they create an account. We have routing ID, and our account ID, which are stored as long integers. Our security, which is the ability to change your email and change your password. These all go in sequential flow of order with our use case scenarios, only because we want to make our product as user friendly as possible. We want to be able to provide an easy flow of process for the customer, so that they can add their. Of course, we skipped this a little bit, but the create account is very simple. You're able to create the account, you add your users, add your groups, add alerts, or add reports. Although you get all those functionalities with our system of accounts. And from there, of course, you can log out and delete your account. That is the functionality we have. You can log out your user, log out your group, or delete your group and delete your user. From there, of course, we have our group management phase, which is where you manage your groups. Of course, let's not forget, also with our accounts and class diagram, we have the ability to check our data, and there are scenarios where the user is able to choose to access balanced information. Users can also alternate between expense information, and users can also access group data. These scenarios are very important in being able to divide your work and not get confused on what expense you're dealing with. When it comes to our group management, we have the ability to add your email and username. Of course, verifies those and gives you a group ID when creating a group. You have your password that's validated in there. We have our members, which is a list that is given to you, so you can choose out of, so that you can add members and remove members. From there, you can create new accounts or delete your account. You can change your password, change your username for the group, add new groups, manage groups, add members to the group, remove members from the group. And from there, when managing our group, there are functionalities to view show expenses, which are only mainly for your groups that you have created and not individually. You have your show expenses, your modify expenses, your show balances, your modify balance, and print all invoices and print last expenses. This is important because it allows you to see what you spent on your own and what you spent with your group. Of course, you can create new groups as you'd like that validate. When doing so, you have to validate your email and go through the validation phase to validate password, so that it could be stored in our database. And you could delete your group, disable your group, and remove groups. And for group report for data, those are, for example, when getting the reports for groups, this allows you to display and view your balances and expenses and members reports before actually exporting them and sharing them. That takes me to our reporting system, which allows you to manage the reports. You can do the reports, change the report format, set alerts within there. Your group reports and exporting allows you to also to be OS supported, which is a web OS supportation on web-based and ad that can run on Android and iOS. And there you can customize your report settings as well, based on the way you want to share it. Display report, auto generate reports, add reports, alerts, set report, delete, automation, delete reports, export, and share. Report generation, you can of course generate your reports, export your reports, edit reports. These go all hand in hand with our reporting use case scenarios, where you report, you manage your report, you generate your report, you export it, and you share it, or you can choose to customize these things and delete it. Of course, we have our delete report, our report settings, our sharing, and our sharing data. You can export it as PDF, a Word, a document, export as a report, and share. And from the report format and report type, auto report, delete, which also go hand in hand with our scenarios that may occur here when generating a report. Where you can customize the customer changes the report format style. The customer can generate PDF reports. The customer can choose date for report deletion. These are all fundamentals needed to have a software to have a software that is easygoing and user friendly. in which users can access and log in and access their own expense and balance information, and also divide that same expenses and balances with the group if they were to go out. And this is displayed well here in the sequence diagram, where we show a user creating an account. We show the process of how it happens, an account being created, where he logged in. It goes through our security phase. He's able to change your username, and if not, he can check the strings to be able to log in an account, where our system takes it and validates it, sends it back to our main accounts database, and allows it to view if this is an account or not. From there on out, we allow you to log into your account, or it gets blocked, so it becomes an automatic invalidation. And if it allows you through, then you can have access to the data that you have collected in our database, and the stuff that you have added from there, from creating the account, from there on out. So, and then from there, once you've done, you finished working on whatever you need to do, you can go ahead and log out, where our system validates you and logs you out. In our second sequence diagram, we have our user here, where he creates an account so that he can create a group, so he can share the expenses that he just spent. So here, as you can see, he creates an account. Our account confirms that he has an account now and is validated. The user can now create a group so that he can add member data, which is stored in our members data, and from there he can manage the group, so that he can share the expenses that were used. And he goes to manage the group, and once he's done so, they can share their expenses through our app, and from there you can delete the group or go on to just keep it. So this is important, as it goes with sequence of group management. It goes hand in hand with group management, being able to create a group, manage a group, view their expenses, view the group balance, add members, remove members, or go on to delete the group. From there, we go to our state diagram. We have our initial, where we want to manage and show display data and report data. Here, this is the report one, where our user is first idling, then he manages a report. Reports, he can either add or delete a report, and go on to format the report, and then from there he can view the updated reports. And that is our final phase of our state diagram for displaying data and for managing report. We have the state diagram here for creating a group. Our user here is idle. He goes on to create a group. From there he's able to add a member or delete a member, which allows him to manage a group, and that would complete the final phase for creating a group. We have our user display data, which is a state diagram. This shows data being displayed through the program to be able to show the user what he spent, and what he's spent and what he's acquired as in balance. So it starts off idling, and then he clicks on view data, which then prompts him the ability to add an expense or add a balance. After doing so, the data validates the system validates that data and provides you with an updated data, and there becomes the final phase of that state diagram. From there, we're going to go on to our activity diagram, which go a little bit into being able to validate information before going on to the next phase. We have here our open Splitsmart, which is our application. You have user creating an account, they enter their email, their password. It goes to a decision process where decides and validates the information. If it handles the error, it sends you back to end email and password. If it approves, it goes on to another decision phase where you can add a balance, add expense. From there, you can go on to your control flow that allows you to go to your view data, and there on out. Another one we have, starting our initial, we open the Splitsmart. From there we can open our group management, create a group. Of course, you could see that when doing so, you're able to create a group, manage a group, delete a group, check report data, and manage the group. So with our activity diagram here, we are able to see that we can open group management, create a group, which takes us to the decision phase, and if approved, we can add members. From there, we can manage the groups, which allows us to go through another decision phase where we can add group expense, add group balance, or delete members, and there on out you can, after you've done the functions of what you want to do, it allows you to ultimately view the updated groups. Of course, after doing so, we can have another activity diagram that opens Splitsmart. This is another example of how we would go through a phase of A to B and A through Z. By doing so, we can open Splitsmart. Here we manage the reports. If we choose to delete a report from here, it would go directly to decision phase and validate it. If not, we can add a report or change the report format, which will take us to another decision phase where we can choose to export report or share the report and ultimately send or save that report. This goes within our reporting phase. This activity diagram shows our group management, and this here shows our account creation. These are all important as they're all fundamentals of this software, and the building blocks of how to get it initiated and actually finally see it through. Then we have our deployment phase, which is very important because then we have our deployment phase. From here, we check our start off. And moving on to the moving on to the deployment phase, we can check our. Moving on to our deployment phase, here we have a mobile device that is connected to a web server and connected to security. So that way we are able to use these servers and databases and validate information when accessing our accounts. After doing so, the accounts uses our security protocol to be able to validate information, open up the blocks, and the firewalls, so that we can access our balance information, our expense information, our groups and reports. There on out, the user can go ahead and deploy whatever information that he wants to use once he's gotten past our security protocol to validate his information in his account. Our account can go and or he can go and process the information that he wants here, as seen in our class diagrams. He can deploy whatever usage and functionality he wants within the program. We have if he wants to access the balance information, our balance information comes and tries to access the information through our balance data, validates the information with the user, goes to the security, and deploys that information out to the user. Same thing goes for our expense for information, the way our groups work, and the way our reports work. And so to be able to view these, to be able to use these, they are dependent on one another, such as accounts depending on the mobile and the security. These are dependent on the accounts, as they need to verify information. So if you're running on a desktop or a mobile device, you can execute these commands that you're giving the system. So it needs to work hand in hand so that they are able to provide that information up to a customer. This is the building block in the deployment phase, how to provide a top-notch software for the customer. And that is all for my presentation. Thank you very much, and thank you, Professor. Have a great day.